Hi guys, Paul Pluta on the Paul Pluta channel, ArchieLuxury channel. Today guys, I want to ask you a question, and it's about quick wristwatch check, Patek Philippe 5196. Today's question is, should you take money out of your super fund to buy a wristwatch? Let me explain. Okay, in Australia, our government has allowed us to take $10,000 out of our superannuation fund because of COVID. Now, there are a few rules attached to this. Basically, you have to have had a drop in your salary or your earnings. You need to have had a drop. For example, if you're a salary and wage earner, and you haven't had a drop, I wouldn't be lying. It's being administered by the tax office, the ATO. That's like our IRS. And I got to be totally honest with you. Don't cheat your taxes. Don't cheat your taxes. It's just not worth it. The question is, okay, you can actually take out $10,000, and the question is, should you put it into a Rolex? Interesting question. So basically, you can access your superannuation, your 401k, which normally you can't access until you're 60. Now you can take 10,000 out. So the question is, should you buy a watch with it? And that's a very good question. I honestly think it depends on your circumstances there. Personally, the problem I have with this is you are selling most people, their 401ks, their superannuation is invested in the share market. So you're cashing in this investment at the worst possible time. And then do you put that into another asset class like a wristwatch? Now, that is a very difficult decision. Only the savvy can really make this decision. But I think if you are suffering from depression, if you are suffering from self-esteem issues, if you are really scared and worried, it may be the best thing to do is to cash in a bit of your 401k, your superannuation, and buy a Rolex. Yeah, that may be a very good idea. It'll give you a boost. It'll give your ego a boost. It'll also make you feel comfortable. It'll also just be, if you do get corona and things go to shit, it's just a nice heirloom to pass on. Now, I've got to be honest with you, it's a very tricky thing. It's very hard to pick the bottom of the market. It's very hard to pick the top of the market. But one thing can be said is we're in a very lower end of the market itself there. It looks like we're at the bottom there. So usually our 401ks are in our superannuation 401k funds. They're in share market investments. And it's not a really great time to sell. However, my honest opinion is I think if you don't have a luxury watch, it now is as good a time as ever to get a piece of horology. And the thing is, if you buy the right Steel Sports Rolex, you may actually outperform the market. That's correct. If this coronavirus gets worse, well, your share market investment will go even worse. So having the watch could become a very sensible option. If things turn really bad and we have Armageddon, useful tool watches, Steel Sports like a Submariner or a GMT, will become very just usable. The other thing is, of course, too, is that by going automatic, we're going to avoid, if there's a nuclear war, it looks like there could be World War III because the oil price is so low. So the only way you fix this up is by having a goddamn war. So if there's a nuclear explosion, those quartz watches, piff, the crystal will piff, and they no longer work. So a wristwatch could become a very handy tool in the nuclear sort of catastrophe sort of age there. So I would highly recommend if you are going to cash out, I'd highly recommend you buy Steel Sports. I think some ideal watches for under the 10,000, it's about 6 to 7,000 US dollars. I'd be looking at Explorers, your Explorer 1. I'd be looking at Milgaus's. Even the white dial Milgauss is an exceptional buy. I would also say no date subs. If you've got a bit more money, maybe you could stretch to a sea dweller, pre-ceramic sea dweller. That'd be a beautiful piece to go to. And I think the thing is, it's not just the monetary value that the watch could go up if things go to shit. It's the up it gives you as an individual. And I got to tell you, a positive mental attitude can honestly help you with any of these nasty coronavirus iterations that come out. And besides injecting disinfectant into the coronavirus, a wristwatch could give you the endorphins and pheromones to make you feel good about yourself to fight nasty infection. So I think it could be worth considering. So I certainly wouldn't cross it off the list. I would be I'd be very cool about it. I think that's a good way to go. So I seriously think in this terrible climate that we're in, I think you'd have to consider it. You would seriously have to consider getting a beautiful wristwatch just to give you the pep, just to make your life better. And I mean, look, if it all goes to really bad, I mean, you can sell it off at a later stage. It's a great store of wealth. So wristwatches themselves, I think they're a great asset to have. Wristwatches are a fantastic asset. Steel Sports, stay away from doggy brands, stay away from your Breitlings, stay away from your IWCs, your PAMs. I'd be going Steel Sports Rolex. I'd be trying to get Sapphire. If you're going to go Datejust, make sure Sapphire. I'd prefer Sapphire no holes case, like a 16234. I think that's a really good buy in the market. Condition is everything. I think condition, buy the best example you can get. Check out David SW. Go online and check out David SW. Make your fantasies come true. And be positive. Be positive. This is the whole thing, man. Fighting this virus, you can have doom and gloom, and you know, we're going to get through this, guys. We are going to get through this. And what a great memento to have. A Rolex, funded by your superannuation, your 401k. So that could be a great heirloom to hand on to the kiddies, the grandkiddies. It's just a beautiful thing to have there. So I'd like to hear your opinion. How do you feel about it? Would you do it if you had a government said you can get a access to your 401k money? Would you pull the trigger? And if so, what would you look at? I think there's many good buys. So we're talking, in Australia, we're talking about 6 to 7,000 US dollars. Prices are a bit depressed at the moment. They are a bit depressed. So you could snag yourself a deal. So I think it's well worth considering. It really is well worth considering. So guys, tell me what you think. Like, subscribe, tell your friends. Put some nasty comments below and tell me if you would cash in the booty. Would you make a booty call? That's the question. Would you do it? I don't know, guys. I'm Paul Pluta. Tell me what you guys think of that. Hi guys, Archie Luxury, and who do I recommend in America? In America, who do I recommend for quality pre-owned wristwatches? David SW, David SW, David SW. Go to davidsw.com. He is the best, the greatest pre-owned dealer in all of the United States of America. David SW, David SW, David SW. And there we go, one of the most beautiful Pateks of modern times, a key reference point in Patek history. The 5035, proudly part of the ArchieLuxury wristwatch collection.
Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, once again, Mark Goldberg for Archie Luxury AC3, the Pontiff Satan de Ville. I want to sincerely thank you for having sat through this video because I know it was awful, but you know what? You do it for the greater good of humanity. Thank you so much. Now, a couple of quick pieces of homework. Now that you've watched this video, I would like you to hit thumbs up. If you must, hit thumbs down, but if you'd hit thumbs up, I would especially appreciate it. Go ahead and leave a really nasty comment and tell him how awful this content was, but most importantly of all, the entire reason that I am linking up with Archie Luxury in the first place. I am a published author, Let Dogs Be Dogs, available in bookstores, Amazon, and electronically somewhere near you. Remember, Archie Luxury, he's not just a figment of your imagination.